helping modern women unleash their feminine power. Hello, my loves. Welcome to episode 5. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 behaviors that turn a man off. And these are some interesting ones that I have seen in myself, okay, as well as with my clients. And these are things that I want you to just notice, okay? If you're doing any of these, I just want you to notice, pause, give yourself just a little bit of time to process this, okay? When you are doing any of these, I want you just to pause and feel through them. And I'm going to give you a little tool after I share with you the 5 behaviors that turn a man off on how to process these things and how to go to the other side where you're going to be so magnetic and alluring to this man that he's just going to find you irresistible. Okay. So these 5 things are things that these behaviors are things that we often do that may just feel like it's nothing to you, or you may think like, oh, it's okay, he can take it, but it's not okay, and you're actually pushing him away with these behaviors, okay? And it could feel or could be seen as something very innocent that you're doing, but it's not, okay? Because it really affects your relationship with men and how to relate to men, okay? So we need to learn how to relate to men in a way that we are going to be attracting these men, right? Because that's what we want. We want to be attracting our men. We want our men to be chasing us, to come to us, to give to us, right? So these are things that are doing the complete opposite, okay? So the number one is shaming and blaming him. Who is guilty of that? I can definitely tell you that I am, okay? And this is something that I have noticed in my past, especially now because I'm so aware of it. I stop myself before I even say anything that's going to feel like shaming or blaming him. So, you want to when you do that, it's sort of like, you want to shame him and blame him and tell him how it is, when he's done something that triggered you. That's the first response, right? Like you want to react. That's reacting to something. Well, as soon as you get triggered, you react to it and you want to go tell him exactly how it is, and how disrespectful that was, or what a jerk he was, or any of those things, right? And that is definitely something that you want to stay away from, okay? Shaming and blaming your man. And I know this is something that we have been sort of, I feel like it has been like normalized, right? And disrespecting our partners, and but it's not, and it shouldn't be, because it doesn't create a healthy relationship. And just like you want to feel respected in your relationship, so does he, right? So we want to be that example, and we want our men to feel safe, emotionally safe, and relaxed around us. And this is definitely something that we want to stay away from, shaming and blaming him. Okay. Because this is going to just push your man away. He's not going to want to be around you. He's just going to pull away if you keep doing that. And eventually you could, push this man away so far that he may not even want to be in the relationship anymore. So, number 2, this one is the sort of like the complete opposite, and that is over apologizing. So I know that some of you ladies out there are people pleasers. I definitely have been myself. You over apologize for being needy or clingy, right? When he's pulled away or acts cold towards you, you feel like it's your fault, you're the one to blame, so you apologize, for even having needs, right? Because you think like your needs don't matter. When you apologizing, like over apologize, you are basically telling yourself and him that your needs don't matter, right? And that is not right, and it's gonna make you feel really crappy. It's gonna make you feel crappy because you're not taking care of yourself, right? You're not taking care of your needs. You're actually gonna feel resentful towards this man. if you do this, if you over apologize for what you need, right? And so being authentic, honest with yourself first of what your needs are, and then expressing them in a way that he can really understand you is key. Right? You don't need to apologize for what you need as a human being. You don't need to apologize for what you need as a woman. You don't need to apologize for your needs. Okay? If this man is not able to meet your needs, it's okay. You can find someone who will. So don't ever apologize for that. And, if he is one to pull away because, for whatever reason, or acts cold towards you, you just give him that space. You give him the space to do whatever he needs, because obviously he needs some time to process, right? And that's okay, but it's not your fault, right? And you're not being needy or clinging, right? You're just going to allow this man to have his space if that's what he needs. And you're not going to apologize for needing, time with him, but we are going to just allow him to have that space. And there's tools that I actually teach my clients on how to process your feelings and heal this um anxious attachment style and become more secure, because we also don't want to be in a relationship where you have to constantly be in each other's presence and constantly be checking on each other, right? We want room to breathe. A relationship needs that. It needs that room, that space, that time for it to be healthy, for the two of you to be your own person, right? So, but apologizing for that or over apologizing for that for your needs is not healthy. Okay. um so yeah, so number three is we're staying with the over explaining at all. I feel it's just such a turn off, trying to clarify and explain your behavior or something you think was a turn off for him is definitely a turn off. Because you're making up a story in your mind of something that's not even happening, right? And so you are creating this story, and then you're over explaining yourself, trying to clarify things, trying to let him know why you behaved the way you behaved. And maybe he didn't even notice, maybe he didn't even care, maybe he did notice but he didn't care, right? Because that shows confidence when someone just is who she is and is not doesn't apologize for who she is. She's, as long as obviously you're a kind woman, compassionate, right? You're being respectful towards others. You don't need to be explaining yourself to anyone. But I find that a lot of us women, we try to, explain our behavior, or something that you think was a turn off. I don't know if you've noticed that. Even I've noticed that even with friends that I love dearly, that I see that they try to clarify and explain their behavior. Yes, I may have noticed it, but I didn't care. But I can see how we tend to do that, right? We question ourselves, we question our behavior, we question how we are, and that is just such a turnoff because it shows the lack of confidence in yourself. So work on that, my love. If you see yourself, if you notice that you are someone that over explains yourself, try to catch yourself doing that and hold back, lean back, right? And feel through that anxious, because that's a lot of anxiety in you. That's that energy in you. And that is what's causing this over explaining. So if you get a hold of yourself in that moment and you learn the tools on how to process that, it's going to really help you with your relationships and how you relate to people, not just men, but with everyone. Okay. So the next one, that's number four. Number four is leaning forward. Okay. That's contacting him and trying to get clarity when you're feeling anxious and a sense of urgency. How many of us have done this? I have sure done this. And it doesn't feel good, right? Because you're in this anxious state, in this, you're feeling a sense of urgency to get clarity from him. Like, what did he mean by that? Why did he look at her that way? Why did he say that? Why did he not call me? Why did he not text me right away? Why did he read my text message but didn't actually, respond to me right away, but he responded hours later? Like, all of those things, right? That's like we are confronting a man. You're like leaning forward, trying to get answers from him, trying to get clarity at the wrong time. Yes, a high value woman needs clarity, needs to know what's going on, needs to be clear about where she stands, but she doesn't do it at the time when she's feeling anxious, right? She knows that she needs to process, she needs to sit with her feelings, feel through them. And then once she's done all of that, then she decides, when to express them and what to say. Some things she may not even have to say anything. She may decide that, yeah, that's something that I don't need to express. I don't need to say anything. But there's other things that she may want to, and knowing the difference between when do you just need to process your feelings and sit with them and not have to say anything to anyone, and when do you do that, you process and do everything else, and then you also express yourself. That's like emotional intelligence, right? That's knowing when to really gain that clarity, talk about it, have a discussion around it, and when you don't, right? So yeah, really feeling through it. This is when feminine energy comes, it's such a great thing to have, great thing to lean into, great, because when you lean into your feminine energy, it gives you that space, that room to just breathe and give yourself a minute to recoup and really feel through it and realize whether this is something that you need to express or this is something that you just feel through, right? So because leaning forward when you are feeling anxious and you feel that sense of urgency, it's just gonna, it's not gonna feel great to the other person, to your man. He's gonna feel, attacked because you're gonna be in a different state. You're gonna be in the state of like, you know, you're reacting to this, so you're not going to be in the great state. He's going to feel that energy from you and it's not going to feel so great. Okay, so catch yourself when you're feeling anxious and you have this like instinct, right? It's your instinct to go and like confront this man, and you want to, it's gonna feel like you're going against your instincts if you don't do anything. The hardest thing to do is to do nothing. And this is exactly it, and it's gonna feel like you're going against your instincts because you have been so much in your masculine, probably, that you have always reacted, right? When you get triggered, you reacted instead of respond. And this is what you need to learn, is to learn how to respond and not react, because this is how you're going to create that healthy relationship with your man. Okay, so the last one, number 5, is panicking and blaming yourself. And this is very similar to the shaming and no sorry to the over apologizing, right? Is panicking and blaming yourself, because you panic and blame yourself for his behavior, right? So you start, this is like how it starts. You start panicking and blaming yourself, and then you're like, okay, well, I need to go and apologize, over apologize for it, and then I'm gonna over explain. Right? So it's like a big like this cycle that keeps happening. And this is, this is very common for people who are like people pleasers. I have certainly been a people pleaser in my past. And this is something that we have to stop doing, okay? Panicking and blaming yourself. I want you to notice it. Just notice it when you're panicking, when you're blaming yourself for his behavior, right? For how he's acting. Oh, he's pulled away because I did this. Oh, he's pulled away because I acted that way. Oh, he's pulled away because I said this thing, when he hasn't even mentioned anything, when there is nothing that can tell you that this is why, right? He's mentioned nothing about it, and you are just creating a story in your mind, and you're punishing yourself and kicking yourself in the butt for something that you haven't done anything wrong, right? So this is such a turn off, because it really he can feel your energy, right? When you do this, what happens is that your energy goes low, right? Your energy is just in a low state, and that's not magnetic, that's not attractive, right? So you want to be in a higher state. The higher state is when you feel love for yourself, love for others, you feel happy, you feel joy, you feel passion, you feel excited, right? Those are like high state, energy. This is the energy that you want to be in, the vibration that you want to be in, right? It's the happy, joyful, passionate, in love with yourself, in love with life. That's when you become so attractive to a man, right? When you're panicking and blaming yourself, you're not in that very high energy vibe, you're in a very low energy vibe. So just catch yourself with all these. I just want you to catch yourself, okay, when you're doing this. And I want you to just love that part of you that feels this emotion, right? This feeling of like, I love myself for, um, you know, feeling so triggered. Why do I feel this trigger? Like, go deeper into that trigger. What am I really feeling, right? When you're shaming and blaming him, what are you really feeling? You're probably feeling angry. And then what else is there, right? You're probably feeling maybe disconnected. Maybe you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, right? You're not getting his attention, so you're just feeling alone, you're feeling lonely. And it would feel great to just sit with him and spend some time with him. That's what you actually want, right? Not the shaming and blaming. You actually want to connect. Same thing with him moving away and or pushing you away or pulling away or acting cold, and you're over apologizing, over explaining, and just panicking and blaming yourself. Love all that part of you. Love the part of you that's panicking. Love the part of you that's blaming yourself. And just feel through that and do something that's gonna make you feel good. Okay, with all of these, always move towards feeling better, right? To a higher state. Once you are in a better state, in a higher state, your energy would change, right? So just catching yourself for now, it's definitely key. You don't have to do anything else with it, just catch yourself. And then you can learn the tools either with me or with another coach on how to cope with that, how to really help your nervous system, how do you regulate your nervous system, because this is key. And I see that in a lot of us women, we are very, a lot of us are anxious attachment style. That's what we have. And so we have to move into the secure attachment style. And that's when relationships will come easy to you. That's when love just so easy to you, because you are in a state of love and you're feeling good about yourself, about your life, you're passionate about your what's going on around you. So yeah, so anyway, that is the 5 behaviors that turn a man off. And just for now, just I want you to just notice them and pour love into those parts of you that are feeling anxious, that are feeling lonely, that are feeling sad, that are feeling angry. Just keep pouring love into you, okay? So that is it, my love. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you a beautiful day. If you want to learn more about being in your feminine energy, I have a free feminine energy guide that you can just download from my website. Just go to linentoscano.com and download it from there. See you soon.